So you want to play Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 1, but you're not sure which cameo fighter to pick. Today, we'll be checking out each cameo and seeing which ones complement Liu Kang's playstyle and moveset the most. This will be a great starting point for anyone new to the game or new to the character of Liu Kang. I'll leave the timestamps in the description if you want to jump to a specific character, but let's just get right into it. Our first cameo up is Darrius, and I always like to start with Darrius because we can do some really fun combos. But to start, we have the tornado kicks, which honestly is a great way to start a game. You can kind of just send it out there. It's safe, it's 120 damage, and you can actually get that first hit, catch your opponent off guard, get that extra bar of meter to start a game. Really good. And it only takes up half the bar of Kameo. And next up, we have the overhead, which is a double hitting overhead flip kick. If you decide to use this, it's really cool that you could delay it, and you could do like a low into an overhead hard to blockable, which leads into like 30%. Not bad there at all. But the main reason everybody's using Darrius is, of course, because of the tornado kicks. And this is what's going to give us all those really cool looking combos. But this is something you'll see with a lot of cameos. Liu Kang can actually combo off his back throw. We can bring in tornado kick. And we could get a nice 20%. It does take up the whole bar of Kameo, and other cameos do this way better, but it's definitely there as an option. But now for actual combos in the mid screen with no meter, we can actually get some pretty sweet combos, about 40% there, and it leads into corner carry, so that's definitely really good. But in the corner, this is where a tornado kick really shines. This is where we can do some absolutely insane combos. Bring it in and get full combo there. 48% could probably bump that up to 500 damage in the corner. Absolutely insane. I love using tornado kick, man. I wish it didn't take up the whole bar of meter, but if it didn't use the whole bar, getting back-to-back 50% combos would be a little crazy, so I understand. But overall, I really like Darrius. You're starting to see him way more as a cameo, as people are starting to like experiment with them. So really cool to see that. But with Liu Kang, he's a lot of fun, man. I mean, those tornado kick combos are so addicting. And now the next cameo up, everybody's favorite, and that is Sareena. Just a cameo that pairs so nicely with literally every single character in the game, and that's because, of course, her combo extender. So really simple, what it's going to look like, just an easy forward 4, hit confirm, go into double Sareena, and then we go back 2-3, back 2-3. I mean, this is literally just a bread and butter Liu Kang. Into the corner, 44%, no meter, and look where we end up. Absolutely insane how good this move is. And even if you only have one, you don't even need both. Even if you only have one, we're doing the same thing, going to corner carry, and we're breaking 40%. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that, dude. But furthermore, Sareena also has a nice projectile. You're starting to see Sareena players use this a lot more, which I really like. A high 6%, not bad at all. The thing is, Liu Kang already has some insane projectiles. We'll talk about this more with some other characters, but Liu Kang's projectile game is just absolutely insane already. So to just throw in a high in there, why not? Sareena recovers really quick, so it's just a nice little check right there. And then next we have Sareena's reversal. Again, you're starting to see reversal cameos a little bit more now in Mortal Kombat 1. A lot of people like to flawless block this string right here. So something we can do if they try to flawless block it, you bring in the Sareena, and that'll kind of mess them up. Either hit them if they're trying to flawless block or whatever they're trying to do. Kind of just throw off their momentum a little bit. But honestly, I'm not using that too much. And last, but certainly not least, we have her aura, which absolutely depletes your opponent's meter. And where I love to use this is in the corner. So we just call it in the corner, and we can just have an absolute field day. It doesn't matter if your opponent's on the ground or in the air. All their meter is going to deplete, and I mean, look at that. We just got a 44% combo, and our opponent lost their meter. What I also like to do with this is use it, and we can go into our bicycle kicks, and that'll really just keep everything grounded, drain the opponent's meter. It's so good. Do not sleep on this move. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing with it. Literally just call it in, especially if you're in the corner. It is just so good. Honestly, I'm going to say it every single time we make one of these videos. Sareena goes well with literally every single character. And with Liu Kang, that is no different at all. And our next cameo up is going to be Cyrax. And I cannot believe how little I actually see of Cyrax now after the forward drill nerf. But thankfully, Liu Kang does not need to use this forward drill at all. To start, we'll actually go with the throw. You can meter burn Cyrax's throw for a combo extender. It does take 2 bars of meter, but Liu Kang can definitely capitalize off this. You can do back 2-3, 3-3-3. And that's a forward throw, 24%. And the really good thing about Liu Kang is the throw is pretty much always open. Everybody's so worried about the forward 4 string most of the time. Stand 3-2 is really good. You could do 1-2. People are pretty much always blocking Liu Kang, so the throw is always there. So to be able to just pop him up after the throw, really simple, especially if you're trying to close out a round. I mean, 25% here is really good. I think we can actually, if we want to burn all of our resources, I think we could even do more than that. Hold on. Let's burn the resources. Yeah, 27%. It's going to cost everything, but 27%, maybe you're trying to close out the game. You don't need meter if the game is won. So 27% is really good. But the main source of Cyrax, of course, is the vertical copter chopper. And really, this just excels in the corner. So we can do some crazy stuff, get near like 40% plus in the corner. Nice, simple, easy combos, man. 41%, 1 bar, and a copter chopper. That's crazy. But we can do even more insane combos if we just do our normal bread and butter Liu Kang stuff. And after this 3-3-3, oh my goodness, dude. 48%. But another move from Cyrax. He does have the net. If it catches, you have plenty of time to just walk up and get full combo into the corner. So kind of just throwing that out there is a really good idea. And last but not least, we have Cyrax Bomb. Again, I haven't seen anybody use this properly yet in any capacity. Don't waste your Kameo meter on this. There's a ton of other things to use Kameo on for Cyrax, that's for sure. But overall, Cyrax is just such a good pick. I know not a lot of people are using him because of the nerfs, but he is so good. Getting those 48% combos in the corner is insane. And our next Kameo up is going to be Kano, who actually brings some really solid utility to Liu Kang's kit that I like a lot. And the first move we're going to be talking about is the knife toss. Obviously a combo extender, but one thing I really like about knife toss is at full screen, sometimes you might be tempted to just YOLO dragon kick in, and you're going to get absolutely blown up for it if your opponent blocks it. But something we could do that's awesome is we can go for it and bring in knife toss, and look what follows up. So if our opponent tries to punish us for it, they're going to get hit by the knife toss, and it might even open us up for a quick combo. But really, it's just a way to keep yourself safe at full screen, follow up. Maybe you go into another combo, more pressure, more plus frames, whatever the case is. Knife toss at full screen is just insane, man. But we can do some pretty sweet combos with knife toss, especially in the mid screen. Call it in. Go dragon kick. That's 36%, no meter at the mid screen. Really solid there. And if we bring it to the corner, knife toss is available for some cool combos. We can just keep it going. 43%, nice and simple. 1 bar of meter. Not bad. And it looked pretty sick too. So I'm a big fan of knife toss. Calling it in pretty much anytime if your opponent gets hit by it. You're either getting more damage, you're getting some combo extenders, whatever the case is, keeping you safe at full screen. A lot of options from knife toss, man, and it's such a good move. And the next move, eye laser. Really not going to be using this too much, honestly. Pretty good though. 9% damage full screen. But again, I'm using my Kameo meter for other stuff. And then last but not least, we have Kano Ball, which we can hold and delay it. Really good. This is kind of the same idea as knife toss. At full screen, we can hold it, let the dragon kick rip, and then go into Kano, get some frames. Maybe it hits our opponent. Really just depends on your timing. On just your regular block pressure, we could do it and just bring in Kano Ball. Honestly, just having it on screen at any time is so good, man. It just causes such a problem for your opponent and causes them to have to deal with so much. So overall, Kano, really good. A lot more utility-based. Some pretty cool looking combos here and there. But for the most part, it's more of just like keeping you safe for those YOLO moments at full screen, or just increasing that pressure with the Kano Ball. Our next Kameo up is going to be Sonya, and we're actually going to start with this throw right here. 14%, the highest damage throw in the game. I just noticed that actually. I thought Sub-Zero had the highest, but it's actually Sonya. 140 damage, and as I said before, your opponents are always going to be blocking when you're playing as Liu Kang. So throw is always there, and I mean, these 14% are going to add up quick, man. But the real reason we're using Sonya, of course, is because of Square Wave, an air combo extender. It's just so good. And Liu Kang is always popping your opponent up, so that Square Wave just works so well. So in the mid-screen, we could just do some very basic combos, get some good damage. 1 bar of meter for 400 damage from the mid-screen. Absolutely crazy. Even something really simple, mid-screen, hit confirm forward 4. And then we can get even more damage like that off of forward 4, which is really nice. We don't have to worry about the back 2. Nice and simple forward 4. But then in the corner is where Square Wave actually gets insane. So, I mean, you could get as crazy as you want with this. 42% right there. Not bad at all. But what's really cool is you can actually use regular Dragon Kick and extend with Square Wave. Absolutely insane. No meter there. 33%. If we want to get a little bit zesty with our combos, we could definitely do that. Burn a bar of meter. And go full combo there for 40%. Oh, dude, it's just so good. Literally anything you do, you could just bring Square Wave in, man. It's absolutely crazy. I love these combos in the corner. They are so much fun. Then we have a projectile. I'm probably never going to use the onion rings. I don't like using my Kameo meter on this. It does recover pretty quick, but I mean, Liu Kang just has so many projectiles. He really doesn't need help from his Kameo for that, but it's good. And then last but not least, we have leg grab. So this is also a really easy combo extender. If we want to switch sides, it's really good too. Full combo there, 30%. If your back is to the corner, it's really good to use leg grab. Combos. Now we have corner pressure. We can even do Square Wave. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. I really just like leg grab if I'm trying to switch sides for whatever reason. Liu Kang doesn't really have a side switch, so using that. Easy combo extender, 30%. Not bad at all. I like leg grab. It's actually pretty good. But if you like wild combos anywhere on screen or just racking up 14% off throws, Sonya is so good with Liu Kang. Our next Kameo up is going to be Sektor, who's just such a good Kameo with every single character in the game. But I really like him with Liu Kang as well. First, we have the Teleport Punch. Really easy combo extender. I've been really liking any Kameo that just extends Liu Kang's forward 4 string into full combo without having to use meter. It's just you're always using this move, so be able to get full combo off it every time without having to burn a bar of meter is so good. So something really simple that we could do just in the mid screen, we can get a full combo. Even if we burn a bar of meter, we can get that full 370. And with no meter, it's like 33% or something like that. But from the mid screen, really good just off a simple hit confirm. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And if we're in the corner, we can get up to like 40%, I think, with this easy combo right here. 1 bar of meter. Just a basic bread and butter, dude. 41% in the corner. It's just so good, man. So good. So simple to hit. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. But the real reason I love Sektor is because of Up Rocket, man. One of the best projectiles in the game. Honestly, might even be one of the best cameo moves in the game. And with Liu Kang, who has insane projectiles, this move is crazy. So if you're at full screen, we can call an Up Rocket, and now we can just absolutely lay down all the work we need. I mean, your opponent's health bar is just gone, dude. There is nothing they can do to get through this absolute minefield of up rockets raining down on them. You got all these projectiles hitting them, more up rockets, more projectiles. It literally is just insane to deal with. So it's so good. Rocket also gives us some pretty sweet combos that are hit confirmable. So once we get our full combo, Up Rocket's just going to hit him. We're getting a 36% there. And then we could even end with another Up Rocket setup into full combo pressure. Up Rocket is so good. All these projectiles that your opponent has to deal with, look at that. That was 3 projectiles, and I took away 25% of their life. Finally, we have Sektor's restand, which is the flamethrower. So good, so underutilized. And with Liu Kang, that flamethrower restand is just so good. We can go restand. And then we can go into our pressure here, bring in more rockets, go into more pressure, off a restand. If you don't want your opponent doing anything crazy on wake up and you just want to keep them restood, we can just go right into it. And then, like I said, just go right into your craziness, man. If you really want to get extra zesty, go into a dragon kick. Everything about Sektor is just so good. His whole kit is so useful for Liu Kang. So definitely picking Sektor with Liu Kang is just such a good idea. He's so good, man. Literally anything you do just ends in up rocket into pressure. Our next cameo up is going to be Frost. Another one of those cameos that just pairs so perfectly with like every character in the game. And that, of course, is because of Ice Carpet. Full screen, low projectile, combo extender. It's just got everything you could ever want. And of course, with Liu Kang, anything that combos off that forward 4-3 is a W in my book. And I mean, this is mid-screen, no meter. Over the corner carry, 36%, man. Off of forward 4. It's just so insane how good Ice Carpet really is. And you'd be surprised. You could literally just let this rip at full screen, and it is going to catch people, man. I've gotten so many full combos off of literally just being full screen, hitting some projectiles, and then just throwing out the low. And plenty of time to get up in your opponent's face and just go for it, man. Even off of that, a free 30% because your opponent wasn't blocking low at full screen. Like, it's insane. But there's even more that we could do with Ice Carpet. A really good move that we haven't talked about too much with Liu Kang is stand 3-2. It ends in an overhead, and it's also plus on block. So one thing you'll see me do a lot with Frost and Liu Kang is I'll go stand 3 right into Ice Carpet. It doesn't matter if they're blocking or anything. 99.9% of the time, the opponent's going to be stand blocking the stand 3-2. So honestly, you're just going to get plus frames out of it, or you go for the mix-up and you get full combo. And like I said, 99% of the time, that low Frost Ice Carpet's going to hit. And even if it gets blocked once or twice, now you're in your opponent's head. So you can get full stand 3-2 plus frames, combo damage every single time. It just makes this string so lethal, man. It's so good. But other than that, Frost does have the Ice Crash, another really solid move. I don't use it too much because I'm more so using that Frost meter and Ice Carpet. But something you can really do, forward 4. A lot of people might try to flawless block. You can send that Ice Crash in. It'll kind of mess up their timing, mess up their frames, whatever they're trying to do. And finally, Frost has her Orb. Just really good. You can stay behind it, get all your combos, do your damage, whatever you got to do, just call it in. Stand back. You could even walk it down if you really wanted to. Your opponent's always going to be blocking, having to deal with something. You can go into your frames. You can go into your plus frames. You go into your pressure. This is just a really good move. I'll just kind of call this out when I'm feeling zesty, honestly. If it hits, hey, we get full combo anyway. And we can go right to the corner. Pretty much everything leads us to the corner. And that's 35 off a random Ice Orb hitting your opponent. Frost just brings so much utility and so many combos to every character. She's so good. Very simple, but so effective. Our next cameo up is going to be Jax, one of my favorite cameos in the game for a number of reasons. And we're going to start with his throw, which you can either meter burn once or twice. If you meter burn it twice, you get 21%. I like to close out a lot of games doing this. So if your opponent's under 20%, again, I always say that throw is always there with Liu Kang. So you can just kind of grab him and then just meter burn it. You don't need meter if the game's done. 21% close out the game. Really, really solid. And if you only meter burn it once, I believe you get like 16%, which is still really good. Yeah, not bad at all. But the reason we're using Jax mostly is because of that backbreaker combo extender. So in the mid screen, we can do some really simple combos. 3-3-3, backbreaker. 39% no meter, man. 40% into corner carry, no meter at all. Absolutely insane. But if we take it to the corner, of course, we can do even more damage with Jax. Really simple bread and butters here. I think this is going to bring us to 40%. Oh my goodness. 43%, 1 bar, 1 Jax backbreaker. The next move up is the unblockable ground pound. I love using this move. The setups are absolutely crazy with it. So something really simple in the mid screen. If you go bicycle kick, you can bring in Jax for an easy setup into a full combo corner carry. Your opponent's gonna have to deal with it. We could even get more damage in the corner, so we could do, let's say we end anything into bicycle kick, we get a free setup, jump, and just like that, we're getting 25% on an unblockable setup that our opponent has to deal with. Ground pound is so good, man. You do not want to sleep on this move. Always just calling it out is so good. I mean, sometimes you'll get hit by it, but hey, your opponent takes more damage than you, so even if you do get hit by it, they're taking way more damage than you are. And then finally, we have Jax's energy wave. I'm not really using this too much. I don't see a lot of people using it. Maybe if you want to use it on like block strings, you just call it out there, push your opponent back a little bit. Jax does replenish pretty quickly after using this, but it really is just all about these backbreaker combos, man. They are just so much fun, so good. And we can just get insane combos. 40% no meter, just like that from the mid screen. I love using Jax. I pretty much use Jax with like every single character at this point. He is just so good. And this throw is so slept on, man. Meter burning throw for more damage is absolutely insane. Our next cameo up is going to be Stryker, who's looking to be like one of the most popular cameos in the game right now. And for good reason. He's absolutely insane. First, we have the low sweep, which is just such a good move. Really good range. I mean, from back here, you can hit a low sweep. Really solid. We were talking before about Frost with her low projectile. Now we have another mix-up. We could do stand 3 into low, or of course we can mix up our opponent with a stand 3-2. And on the flip side of that, we also have the overhead baton. So this is really good just to kind of call out there, check your opponent. A lot of people are going to be blocking low just in general against Liu Kang. So if your opponent's crouch blocking, kind of just call it in, check them, little bop over the top. Not bad whatsoever. Really like both batons. Also, we do have a low built in with forward 1-4, so you can do forward 1 into baton. That's a combo, and that's a mix-up. So if you really just want this forward 1-4 to start hitting, we can just do forward 1, boom, and now they're always going to be thinking about that. Then we can go into forward 1-4, it'll lead into a full combo, etc. The baton's good, man. Just a good old-fashioned classic overhead low mix-up. Then we have the main reason people love Stryker, and that's because of the grenades. We have low grenades, we have high grenades, just kind of depending on what you want to use and where your opponent is. But of course, pairing this with just insane amounts of projectiles, I mean, there's so much that you could do. Your opponent literally can't deal with anything. We have projectiles going low, we have projectiles going high, we could do high projectiles into low grenades. I mean, it's just everywhere. But we can actually get some pretty sick looking combos. I don't know what it is, but these grenade combos are so cool to me. So we can do a back 2-3. Pretty much anytime you do that, you get a free combo and full, I mean, 33% no meter right there. Super simple. And especially if we take it into the corner, we could do back 2-3, grenades. And I mean, we're getting some solid 40% damage there for 1 bar. It's just so good. These grenades are like some of the best projectiles in the game. They're a little bit wonky to get used to, but once you get that range down and kind of where they are and where they're going to hit, it's just so good, man. Pretty much anytime you go into back 2-3, you can bring grenades in, and that'll extend your combo. A little bit more damage. Looks really sick. And then last but not least, we do have Cuffed, which is a restand. We were talking about restands before with Sektor, and I mean, you can do the same thing just like this. Go into your pressure. Whatever you want to do. Again, if you don't want your opponent to wake up, or you just want to kind of take control of how your opponent's dealing with their wake-ups, I mean, you can just go into Cuffed. Cuffed is really good, but again, I think you're going to be using most of your meter on these grenades. So I definitely like Stryker. One of the top cameos right now. You're seeing him in a lot of like pro tournaments and things like that. He's just got so much utility. These grenades are crazy good. And our next cameo up is going to be Scorpion, one of the most fun cameos in the game without a doubt for me. And with Liu Kang, it's crazy because you literally get 40% every single time you open your opponent up. And the first move we'll start with is actually going to be his overhead, which is a combo extender. So really simple, forward 4-3, and we can go full combo. And just like that, again, 35%, no meter, super simple hit confirm. But where it gets really crazy is when we start to incorporate Hellfire, his air combo extender. You're always popping up your opponent with Liu Kang. So to have the air combo extender works really nicely. And now just to combine both of those, just to kind of show you what this character can do. Just like that, man. Full combo, 41% mid-screen, no meter at all, off a simple forward 4 hit confirm. But basically, anytime you pop your opponent up, we're just going far Hellfire. And we're getting combos, man. Every single time. 436, no meter. It is so crazy how good it is. And that was only 1 Hellfire. Half a bar of cameos, all that took for 44%. Another thing Liu Kang gets is actually an armored launcher. So you can go armored bicycle kick into full combo. I mean, 23% on an armored wake up combo is pretty nuts. Hellfire is just so good everywhere. Now, I could sit here all day and talk about all the different things you could do with Hellfire Scorpion, but one thing you really want to know is on Dragon Kick, you can actually extend your combo. So really quick, nice and easy in the corner, Dragon Kick, Hellfire, full combo, man. 32% just off a regular dragon kick. This move is literally useful everywhere. Now, all we have to do, nice and simple, dragon kick, hit confirm, and we get full combo right there, man. That's just off a regular dragon kick, no meter. But if we want to reach like 45% in the corner with Hellfire, we could definitely do that too. 48%. Lost the corner, but dude, 500 damage is pretty insane. Last but not least, we do have the Get Away From Me. I literally never use this. It does have a hit of armor, but I'm really just using that cameo for Hellfire and for that overhead easy combo. I love using Scorpion, man. One of my favorite cameos in the game for every character. But with Liu Kang, it's just so good. And our next cameo up is going to be Sub-Zero. Honestly, a very straightforward cameo. We don't even have to spend a lot of time on him. But first up, his throw. Second highest damaging throw in the game at 130 damage. So good. Those just rack up. We've been talking about throws all day with Liu Kang. Your opponent's always blocking forward 4. So to rack up these 130 damage throws is just going to be so good. Then, of course, we have the Freeze. Super simple combo extender. Again, anything off that forward 4-3 that combos, I am definitely happy with. This is just mid-screen. No meter at all. 37% into corner carry. When we're in the corner, we can actually use a bar. Nice and simple hit confirms. Double back 2-3s. Go bar of meter. And full combo, 43% for 1 bar of meter and a freeze. I mean, you really just can't beat that. Sub also has a cold shoulder, kind of a get off me tool. Starting a round or a game with this is really good. It'll catch your opponent. It's relatively safe, so you can kind of just throw it out there. Maybe get first hit bonus, whatever you want to do. Not really going to be using it too much, but it's good. One thing about Sub that I really like, he's useful in our combos, of course, up close. But then at full screen, Liu Kang already excels back here because he has some of the best projectiles in the game. But now we can get the ice armor, and it makes Liu Kang even better at full screen. Basically makes you unstoppable at full screen. So I'll set Kung Lao to throw some hats at us, and we kind of get into this projectile war. Well, I'm going to win it every single time because nothing's going to hurt me. And we can just start letting all these projectiles rip. We just go for it again. I just eat that up. No problems. And we win our projectile fight. So at full screen, Sub-Zero is insane because it just makes our projectile game even better. And up close, Sub-Zero is really good because easy hit confirm combos. Again, really not much to talk about. Very straightforward, but such a useful cameo for Liu Kang. Our next cameo up is going to be Kung Lao. Probably unanimously considered A, best cameo in the game. B, best cameo for Liu Kang, without a doubt. And we'll actually be starting with Liu Kang's back throw. So one thing we could do, back throw into teleport, into full combo. So literally every single time we throw, we're getting 22% instead of like 11. And this just makes Liu Kang's strike throw game even more insane because now our opponent has to guess, are we going forward 4 or are we going back throw, which is going to lead into full combo for 20+% every single time. So no matter what, we're getting over 20% every single time we decide to make an offensive play. And I think if we burn a bar of meter, we can get actually a little bit more, maybe like 24%. Let me see. I actually have not tried this yet. Yeah, 24% on the dot on a back throw. Are you kidding me? And next, of course, we have the low hat. The reason everybody's using Kung Lao is just such a good projectile. Quick, low, 6%. And I really like it with Liu Kang for a number of reasons. So first, we have it as just an easy mix-up, of course. Take our turn back, right? This makes our stand 3 even more of a problem. Or just on any block string, let it rip. If it hits him, we get another turn. Let it rip. If it hits him, now we can go into throws or something like that. But also at full screen, we were talking about this a little bit before with some other characters, we can hold and delay it. So if we're at full screen, hold it, let it rip, and our opponent's going to get hit by it. So that's really just based on timing, right? If our opponent blocks, maybe that opens them up. Low hat's really good at full screen too to help with our projectile game. A lot of people are going to try to duck under this if it's not meter burned. It's a high, so we can kind of just let this rip. Now we're covering high and low at the same time. If low hat does hit, we let it rip. We can actually get a slight combo right there too with our projectiles. So it's just so good. There's so much you can do with low hat. Always just having it out and letting it rip is just such a good idea. It's just another projectile added to Liu Kang's kit, so we can cover air and ground at the same time with it. There's just so much, man. It's so good. Low hat is really one of the best moves in the game. And last but certainly not least with Kung Lao, we have easy hit confirm combo extender with the spin. This is just mid-screen, full combo, 35%. We're seeing that a lot with a lot of cameos, getting Liu Kang's that 35% in the mid-screen, no meter. And then in the corner, we can just get some crazy combos, easy damage. Just like that, meter burn it. And we're getting 46% for 1 bar and 1 spin. Kung Lao cameo is so good, dude. And of course, anything off this forward 4, anytime it hits, you just go right into that spin. I was saying it before, any cameo that helps me combo off forward 4 without having to use a bar of meter is great cameo in my book. And Kung Lao is definitely a great cameo, that's for sure. As I said in the beginning, probably one of the best in the game and probably the best for Liu Kang as well. Our next cameo is Shujinko, who we actually skip in these videos his moveset changes depending on who your opponent's playing as. So that's just a video in and of itself. Our next cameo up is going to be Motaro. Honestly, not going to be spending too much time on Motaro. He's more of like a situation where if you just love Liu Kang's zoning and you really want the zoning play, Motaro is probably a good pick for you. But we'll actually start, same thing with Kung Lao, Liu Kang's back throw. We can go teleport, and that'll lead us into a full combo. So another way to just get that 22% throw. But as I was saying, way more projectile focused. We have the triple projectile here. And I mean, we're just taking up so much screen space with projectiles with that. Takes the whole bar of cameo meters, so not the best, but it does help you at that full screen. And then we have tail shot, a nice quick low. Honestly, any cameo with a low, you know I've been pairing it with the stand 3. So we go stand 3-2 as the overhead, or stand 3 low knockdown with Motaro. Just keep knocking your opponent down, get that pressure going. And last but not least, we do have the reflect, which you can hold, and we can kind of just sit behind it. Again, much more of like a zoning type of cameo to really help you at that full screen. If you love to just stay back and do this, that's your thing. Motaro is going to be good for that. Other than that, really not seeing too much with Motaro. Just some more projectile help and the teleport on back throw. And our next cameo up is going to be Goro, a cameo you're seeing a ton of now that the game's been out for 2 months. We're seeing a lot more Goro, and for good reason. He's really solid, and that's because of Raise the Roof, this move right here. And that's mostly because on block, we go Raise the Roof. You actually get to take your turn back. It gives you plus frames, so just kind of increasing that plus frame pressure that Liu Kang has. But not only that, with Raise the Roof, we do have some pretty cool looking combos that we could do. I mean, 30% right there. Not the most optimal, not the most ideal, but it looks cool. But really, you just want Raise the Roof for all that pressure, man. Take those plus frames, keep the pressure on. Whether your opponent's blocking, whether it hits them, you're just getting more frames, much more advantage, and that's where it really excels. Next, we have Dead Weight, which is a side-switching combo extender. Again, anything that combos off this forward 4-3 is good in my book. And I mean, that's going to be a side switch, 35% no meter, really not bad. So for example, if your back's against the wall in the corner and you want to switch sides, well, we can just go dead weight, side switch, boom. Now we got full combo and our opponent's stuck in the corner. So now we can go into like something like Raise the Roof, more pressure, more frames. It just gets crazy, dude. I mean, their health bar is already gone. And that was just a few strings into some pressure. So I like Dead Weight, man. It's a pretty cool move. And the last 2 moves you're probably never going to see. We have Punch Walk. Again, I've never seen this once, but it's there. And then finally, it takes up the whole cameo bar. We have Stomp. Maybe if you're at full screen and you're kind of in like a projectile fight, you just call it in. And now we can start to just get even more pressure. Now they got to worry about a body falling from the sky while dealing with all your projectiles. But you're really using Goro for Raise the Roof frames and maybe Dead Weight if you want to switch sides, get out of the corner, or whatever the case may be. As I was saying before, you see Goro a lot more now, which is absolutely awesome. But it's really all because of that Raise the Roof. Getting those plus frames on block is just so good. And now, last but not least, we have Tremor, who was actually my main cameo for a while I was playing Liu Kang. And I'm going to put a disclaimer. So Tremor does have 3 different variations: Crystalline, Metallic, and Aftershock. I only use Aftershock. So the first move we have is going to be with Crystalline Tremor, and that's going to give us Crystalline Armor. Basically, our opponent's going to hit you, and you're not going to get affected by it. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. And then also in Crystalline, we do have a Reflect. It's a little tough to use. You got to make an insane read. So if you guess that your opponent's about to throw, you go into it, it'll reflect it back. Again, not the best. If you're really good at making reads on projectiles, it works, but if not, good luck. Then we have his Metallic form, which has a few decent options. We can go Lava Burst, which is just a nice mid, check. My favorite part about Metallic is definitely the projectile, really solid low, works at full screen, pairs nicely with all of Liu Kang's projectiles, so I could see a use for Metallic. Also, if you hold it, it goes into an overhead throw. Again, pairing that with the low is really good. So now they have overhead and low projectiles coming at them. So Metallic is really good too. But again, for me, it's really all about Aftershock. And that is because, of course, nice and simple hit confirms right there, man. It's just so good. Off forward 4, we're getting that 35% that I'm looking for at mid-screen. In the corner, it works even better. We just go right into it. Super easy hit confirm combos. 1 bar. What is this going to give us? 40 plus? Yeah. Over 42% off an easy forward 4 into hit confirm, just like that. We also have Rock Punch, which is a really good move. I kind of just like to call it out there. If I'm in like this range and my opponent's just not really pressing block here too much, I'll just kind of check them with it. That pushes them full screen. Now they have to deal with all of this while my Tremor cameo is refreshing. So Rock Punch is really good. I like it. I might even end string sometime with Rock Punch if I'm really just trying to push them away, get them off me for a second. And then we have Ground Pound, triple hitting low. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but is really solid. Again, we're always talking about lows with Liu Kang. Stand 3, low. That's going to catch people every single time. They're always worried about the overhead. We could just do stand 3 low, catch them off guard, and now that's something else they have to think about. Also, it's got some decent range. So right here, we can't hit forward 4, but we can hit the low. So that just makes your opponent have to deal with something at this range too. But I love Tremor, man. And also 12% throw. Not the best throw in the game, but it definitely works well. But yeah, as I said, I'm pretty much only using Aftershocks. I know I'm not using Tremor to his fullest ability, but Aftershock just has everything I need. It's got the check, it's got the low, and then of course, my favorite, the combo extenders.